Hey, what's up guys? Today we're gonna drive in the snow. Obviously on a day like today you don't want to go out and drive if you don't have to, but sometimes you have to, so it is good to know how to drive in these conditions. So here I'm gonna pull out onto the road. And what's happening right now, the tires are just rolling over the surface of the snow. So right now my car is not connected to the road. Now this is the worst combination, downhill with a curve. If I was going downhill straight and I start to slide, I could stay off the brakes and maybe just gradually steer just to kind of help the car stay on the road. But if I was sliding there and then I needed to make a turn, I would definitely be going into that guardrail. Might slide here, yep, sliding a little bit. But all I did, I just stayed gentle on that accelerator. If you were driving on a single lane road or something like Hammond's Plains Road or Bedford Highway, sometimes those plows, they can have that blade right on the yellow line, and it's pretty amazing how they do it. They may even slightly come into your lane, but I've never seen them like go right over or anything like that. But just remember, like, those are professional drivers. The trucks just look big and intimidating. Yeah, see this plow? It looks like he's gonna hit my car. And he is pretty much inches away from it, but he's not gonna hit it. If I was to drift over to that shoulder too much, maybe if I wasn't experienced in those conditions, and then I drift over because I'm panicking or I'm scared, very good chance I'm going to slide into the ditch. Even if you just have a little bit of experience in these conditions, it makes everything way less adrenaline inducing if something does start to go wrong. And that's how you stay safe. Most times, like when it comes to hydroplaning, all of these driving in adverse conditions type scenarios, the key is what you don't do. So you don't jam the brakes on, you don't cut the steering wheel hard unless there's a risk to human life, you don't hit the gas hard, you're just doing everything super gradual. Something else that can happen on a day like today, it can sort of add to your stress. There might be a lot of things going on in the car too, like I'll make it noisy here for a sec, but you might have the wipers going, fan on blast. See, when I turn that off, see how quiet it is now? So just be aware of that. If you got the fan on blast, you might feel a little more anxiety. And it might not even be the conditions, it might just be everything that's going on in the car. Again, on a day like today, you're not worried about being right up at the speed limit. You're just worried about generally doing things as safely as you can. That fluffy snow does give a little bit of grip, and it does, if it's deep enough, it will actually give a bit of resistance to your tires. So that makes it a little bit safer. Big truck coming up in the mirrors. And then if all that snow behind him becomes too much, like what I'm going to do here, just let off a bit. Another one coming up. Pretty sure I'm not going into a curve here. I think I'm going to be going straight down a hill, so this isn't so bad. Spin it straight. Alright, still in my lane. Remember, these bridges will always freeze before the main road does, just because there's no ground underneath. It's very popular on a day like today to go on Twitter and look up the hashtag HFXTraffic, so Halifax traffic. Everybody will be posting the different things, that the conditions and the things that they see around town. That will give you an idea of like what it's like out in traffic. Another good one is called NS Storm, so it's like Nova Scotia Storm. So hashtag NS Storm, that's going to show you all the weather. People will be on there giving you forecasts. People will be showing you like the different conditions around Nova Scotia, so that can be pretty handy too. Remember, when you see those tow trucks on the side of the road, if they've got their lights on, they're helping somebody out or something, especially on the highway. Same thing that you would do for emergency vehicles, like an ambulance with its lights on, police car, fire truck with its lights on, or a tow truck with its lights on. You would slow down to 60 kilometers an hour if you're on the highway, and if you can, change lanes. But if you can't change lanes, just slow down. Coming up to another highway, so this is Highway 102, signal lights on, watching the mirror. Shoulder looks good. but now I'm going to drift out. I'm even sliding just slightly there. But again, it's just like I'm flying an airplane. Don't do anything too sudden. It can get to the point on a day like today where the tow trucks are overwhelmed. So what they have to do is they might wait like 48 hours before they go get a car. So I might be driving along here, then I see a car in the ditch, and I'm like, man, I'm wondering, is somebody in that car? Did it just like crash or whatever? So what was happening, a lot of people would call 911, but the emergency responders already dealt with the vehicle like last night or something. So what they do now is they put blue tape around it, or they could even put yellow caution tape. I've seen that, but if you see a car wrapped in tape and it's in the ditch, you don't have to worry about it. That means that they've already been there and dealt with it. See the bit of snow there between my lane and the left lane? That can accumulate sometimes, and then what happens, people will be driving along on the smooth pavement like this. They're like, oh man, this isn't so bad. They're feeling comfortable. Maybe they want to go faster. They decide they're going to pass the person in front of them. Then they go over and they catch that snow, and it's just enough to break their traction, and they start sliding. There's somebody coming out. I don't know how they can see out their back window because it's completely covered in snow. Now we'll go into some neighborhoods and see if we can find some roads that have hills and see how to navigate those. This hill here I was hoping would have some snow on it, but they already got to it. The plows are always my nemesis when I'm making these videos. Yeah, see this here? If I'm steering suddenly on a day like today, not going to get as much like correction. It's not really doing a whole lot. And remember, if I did that on the highway on a dry day, like something that abrupt, that I would definitely roll the car. It's like this is like a delicate balance between the brake pedal and the steering wheel. Everything's gradual, just rolling over. I'm thinking I just want forward motion. Now I got a steep hill here going down to a stop sign, so I'm just lightly braking back here. And what I'm expecting to slide here. I'm sliding a little bit. But see how it's nothing crazy? I still stopped perfectly at the sign. The examiner would be amazed. This street coming up here, I used to live on it, and so it's on a hill. So I was coming down during a really heavy snowstorm, driving down to the stop sign where that truck just turned, and then I started sliding. So I was on a hill, so there was no chance of me stopping. So in that case there, what I did, I steered myself into the snowbank. And the snow was just super fluffy, so it wasn't anything intense. But there's a hill in here I want to show you. So this hill is so steep, they had to build switchbacks into it. So here I was driving that way, and basically what a switchback is, it's a zigzag. So instead of trying to drive straight up a steep hill, I'm just taking a little bit at a time. So here I'm driving slightly to the side, and I change directions, go back the other way. I think this is the steepest hill I've ever seen in traffic. We'll give it a try here. Sliding a bit. See what I'm doing here? Letting the car slide, not getting myself over to the curb. There. Now the sliding is over. See if I can get back to rolling. Now we're halfway down the hill. Looks like Karen is confident that I'm going to make it. Alright. Maybe I'll venture out to the middle here. So far, so good. I like that crunch sound. Usually if you've got a little bit of crunch underneath, that snow is giving you a bit of grip. Sliding a little bit here, but I'm going to get on some dry pavement down here. So basically, down the whole hill, I had the brake pedal applied about half pressure. So I was going to wait. Now I'm going to head back out to the highway. Got a vehicle in the blind spot, but they want my lane, so might as well trade with me. Now I got to watch it on this lane change. Might get a little more snow between the lanes. That wasn't too bad. I actually had that happen on this highway a couple of years ago. I was driving along like this, and the pile of snow was sort of like across my lane. So when I hit it, I started car, I broke traction and just started slightly drifting to the left. And so I only counter steered enough just to correct it, and then the car kicked back. And when the car kicks back, that's the part that gets your adrenaline going, because it feels like it's going to go the other way. But don't fall for it. Just correct. When it comes back to straight, just hold the wheel where it is. To help you avoid distracted driving, when I used to work on the road, we would get work orders like to our phones as we're driving. They might be like high priority and we need to go to them right away. So what I would do is, instead of pulling over on the side of the highway where everyone's doing 100, and they might like accidentally hit me while I'm on the shoulder, what I do is I drive up to the end, kind of where the stop sign is, close to the stop sign there at the top of that ramp. Then I'm in a slow speed area. I just pull over to the side, do all my texting, adjust my music, get all that stuff done, then go right back out to the highway. Remember, those checker signs are the most important signs in traffic, because they're telling you got a super sharp turn coming up or a dead end.